now. We don't have to go. Cheers to this. Welcome to my house. What? Welcome to my house. It's my house.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being abandoned.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent in the forefoot, maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response, adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the Crystal Method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he f***ing with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a f***ing nihilist porcupine. He's the type women wanna be within rappers. Hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%.
Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note and he writes every line. And I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those other fellas he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Fort Minor, M. Shinoda, Styles of Beyond, Ryu, Talk Beer.
Yet another lovely day for baseball here in Rapid City, South Dakota. The Post-22 Hardhats begin day 2 of their doubleheader action against their oncoming opposition, the Billings Royals. We thank you so much for joining us here inside our press box at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium for this second day of doubleheader baseball. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post-22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth in a few moments to be joined by my color partner, Teddy Leipold, former American Legion third baseman, formerly of Post-32 out in Bellefouge. Currently, the Billings Royals are taking infield warm-ups before we begin this second day of baseball. Last night, the Hardhats played a doubleheader against the Royals, and they split, losing 10-1 in the first, 10-7 in the first game on the unfortunate mishap of 5 errors defensively, but came right back to the sticks through strikes on the mound. Ended up taking a 12-3 win in revenge of that 10-7 loss. They look to do the same today. Outside of course, the split, they look to get both wins today and set the table for another rematch against the Gillette Post-42 Riders in Gillette on Wednesday night. They look to the arms of Colton Sherbinsky in the first game and Riley McSherry in the second game here of this doubleheader to pace the Hardhats on the mound and then go back to the sticks with a couple of new faces in the batting order to try and get things started on the offense. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, as always, we'll have my interview with the head coach and general manager of the Post-22 Hardhats, Mitch Messer, and then Teddy Leipold joins me in the broadcast booth. The two of us will walk you through the moments leading up to first pitch, day 2 of doubleheader baseball between the visiting Billings Royals and your Post-22 Hardhats. Stick around, folks. You're listening to the official radio home of Post-22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center.
Show setting the table for our second doubleheader between both clubs, and joining us as always for our pregame show is the head coach and general manager of the Hardhats, Mitch Messer. Coach, thanks so much for joining us once again. It was once again another tale of two cities, if you will, yesterday. Billings takes a 10-7 win in the first game of the doubleheader. Hardhats come firing right back 12-3 in the second game. Did you notice a common theme between both games?
A common theme. I felt like we hit the ball well in both games. The first game we there were a couple situations where we just didn't get a big hit, but gosh, 7 runs ought to be enough. it was we threw strikes in the first game, we did not throw strikes in the first game, threw strikes in the second, and really that's the difference.
You had Hayden McGriff come in relief in this first game there, and that kind of started to change the tide a little bit. Hardhats started to do better defensively out there. What's it meant to you to have Hayden McGriff with these spot starts in the rotation and in relief? What have you seen from him on the mound?
Yeah, I think, we have confidence in Hayden, and Hayden's got confidence in himself. And you see that with the team, too. As soon as Hayden took the mound, it was just a different look. Everybody had a little more confidence that we were going to be in the game from there. So, he does a good job. His command, it wasn't great, but it was good enough. And he did a good job of keeping us in it.
And then you go to the second game. Matt Vickers gets to start. It was another slow first inning for the Hardhats, but after he allowed those 3 runs, that was it. It was straight goose eggs across the board. What did you see from Matt on the mound in game 2?
Well, and again, that's Matt's deal early is that he messes up, and it's just his timing with his body. His body gets out of rhythm, and it takes him a bit to figure it out. We prefer that that's figured out in the bullpen, and he knows that. But he did a good job. He made the adjustment, and when he's in the zone, he's proven he's tough to hit because his off-speed stuff is very good, and he made a good adjustment yesterday.
Hitting was once again on point in game 2, as you had mentioned. There were 7 extra base hits in the second game. There were 4 extra base hits in the first, including 3 home runs in the combined 2 games. Somebody who led that charge, though, clearly was Timmy Paris. He went 3 for 4. Every hit he had was a double. You were telling us earlier in the season Timmy tweaked a lot with his swing. You've got to be happy with those results, no?
Yeah, I mean, the ball's always come off his bat well, and he's been able to generate good bat speed. His exit velos are always at the top of the chart for the team. So, yeah, and that's our philosophy as a program is we believe OPS is the single most important offensive statistic that we use anyway, and we think slugging and on-base percentage are the ways to score runs. So these guys know now when they come into the program that we believe in slug. We're not going to single you to death. We're relying on those big hits.
So you looked at day 2 today of this doubleheader action. You've got Colton Trubinsky starting game 1. You're going to have Riley McSherry start game 2. And you said the common theme between both of those gentlemen is they will throw strikes. Outside of that, what do you look for from Colton in game 1 and Riley in game 2?
That's it right now. I mean, after yesterday, we just, our pitchers have proven that when they're in the zone, they're effective and they're good enough. And I think maybe that's a little bit of it too. They're trying to do too much. They're getting outside of who they are, and if they just settle down and realize that what they have is good enough to get hitters out, they're going to be just fine.
Last question for you here, Coach. Outside of the normal wins, you don't want to get a split here with this Billings Royals club. So how do you avoid the split take 2 and get ready for Gillette Wednesday?
Yeah, preparation. We talked about it last night at the end of the game. Having a World Series mindset from the first pitch out. So far, I've seen preparation better here in this first game. I think they're locked in. They're ready to go. Let's see. Hopefully Colton gives us a quality performance. We need 4 or 5 innings from him. That would be great. And, we'll have some timely hitting.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Coach. Go get him today.
Thank you.
That'll do it for Coach Messer, folks. When we come back, Teddy Lightbold and I will walk you through the moments leading up to first pitch for day 2 of doubleheader action between the Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Stick around. You're listening to the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for
We're back inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, here on this beautiful Sunday morning here in Rapid City for day 2 of doubleheader baseball between the visiting Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth here for all of our festivities, concluding the weekend, now joined by my broadcasting partner in crime, former American Legion third baseman, formerly of Post 32 out in Belfouche, Teddy Leipold. Teddy, once again, thanks so much for joining us today. Looking forward to another. Flat out hate each other. We've played already 4 times this year. We've split 2-2. Here's hoping the Hardhats can avoid another split and just take this season series for what it is at 6 games.
Yeah, that's tough. That's real tough to do. You get to see a team for the 6th time. You start to know the team, and especially playing 4 games now in just 2 days, you got to see how deep these arms go. We know how deep the Hardhats' arms are. We understand. We've seen Colton Sherbensky here. That's going to get the nod in the first game. We've seen Riley McSherry. Both of them are proven pitchers. Now we need to see what Billings brings to the table with the arms that they have. And, of course, with the Hardhats' offense exploding like it has been starting Wednesday night against Gillette, you really looking to continue that success at the plate, and then also you really got to have the pitchers in Sherbensky and McSherry throwing strikes, and Mitch touched on that there in the pregame interview that's probably the most important thing that can be going on here in these 2 games.
Well, let's go ahead and touch on the offense here real quick, Teddy, because we were talking with Coach Messer briefly after we conducted our pregame interview, and we had talked about Timmy Paris in the game that he had yesterday. He went 3 for 4. Every hit that he had was a double. Extra base hits. He's getting such great contact on the ball, but one of the things Coach Messer really stressed with that was exit velocity off the bat. He said that is something that these players are coached to do, is work on their exit velocity. You were a great hitter back in your day in the American Legion level. How do you basically jump your exit velocity off the ball?
It's a lot of core strength and bat speed that has so much to do with it. You work at your core strength, and you got to think that when you start from the bottom up, you get those strong legs, you get the strong core, and then you just got to work on that bat speed, and that's repetition, that's time and time again. That's these kids coming in at the cadet level, going to the Bullets, and then ultimately making it up to the Hardhats here. They've been trained from the very beginning to strengthen that aspect and get that exit velocity so high that these balls just jump off the bats, and you can really tell. You can see it. There was when Solano was hitting his home runs yesterday, you knew it right off the bat. When Timmy Paris would hit it, you knew that ball was going a long ways. Hayden McGriff, another one that has really good exit velocity off the bat. Matt Vickers, who can just turn on the ball just about as good as anyone in this program. So, that exit velocity, you can tell just watching the game how much it's preached and how much these guys have to train for it.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups as they are just about to be announced here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium on the field. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the visiting Billings Royals lineup. Once again, today they will be batting in the top halves of the innings for the 2 games to be played. Leading off is number 6, Jake Orvis. Defensively, he'll be playing out in left field. Batting second is number 10, Patrick Zimmer. He is the shortstop. Batting third is number 8, Cole McKenzie, as always in that third spot playing in center field. And in the cleanup spot is the heavy bat of number 11, Cal Bjorgum, standing at first base on defense. Batting fifth is the catcher now turned designated hitter, Morgan Dugai, number 2. He had 4 2-run RBI singles in 2 games yesterday, so a big part of the offense here for the Billings Royals. Batting sixth is number 7, Jarrett Linewand. He is now DH turned catcher for this game. Batting 7th is number 19, Brooks Zimmer. He came in relief to pitch yesterday. He is now out in right field defensively for Game 1 out of 2 to be played today. Batting 8th is number 17, Chris Bouchard. He's in the hot corner at third. And rounding out the batting order is number 24, Carson Zale. He's playing out at second base. On the mound for the Billings Royals is Tyler Frieders, and he is about to face the batting order of the Hardhats in the bottom halves of the innings, leading off with Walker Paz, number 15, playing at second base. Batting second is number 12, Drake Messenger. He is out in left field. And batting third is number 13, the heavy-hitting Zach Solano, out in center field. Batting in the cleanup spot, the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers, number 27 on his bat. First base, his defensive position. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, number 23, Eric Petrie, back in the lineup since last weekend in Billings. Batting sixth is number 17, Sam Haig. He is behind the plate, catching for the starting pitcher, Colton Sherbensky. Batting 7th is number 20, Cam Fees. He is out in right field defensively. Batting 8th is number 22, Cooper Bowman, out at shortstop. And rounding out the batting order in the hot corner at third is number 14, Justin Kramer. On the mound for the Hardhats is Colton Sherbinski. This is his 3rd game played this year, his 2nd by virtue of a start. 4 1/3 innings under his belt. He has 5 strikeouts to 4 walks, and he has a 4.846 ERA. And as we talked about earlier in the pregame here, Teddy, Coach Messer is looking for Colton to throw strikes. Keep it simple on the mound. Let your defense back you up like they're prepared to do.
Well, there's a reason there's 8 other guys on the field, and that plays into what we try to talk about here with Sherbinski, just throwing strikes, getting the ball. And then Coach Messer touched on it in the pregame as well, is the fact that you got to be able to throw strikes in order to get outs, and you don't want to try to do too much here.
National Anthem coming up, folks. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Stream live on the internet at post22live.com. First pitch is next.
For every budget, Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
Trust, pawn with us. Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Colton Sherbinski takes his position on the mound for the Hardhats. His 2nd start of the season in 3 games played. He has an 0-1 record at a 4.846 ERA, 5 strikeouts to 4 walks, and he is about to face the top of the order of the Billings Royals in Jake Orvis, Patrick Zimmer, and Cole McKenzie. Mark Minetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action here for this 2nd day of doubleheader baseball between the Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Hardhats take to their defensive positions. Again, with Colton Sherbinski on the mound, his battery mate and catcher is Sam Haig. On first is Matt Vickers. Second, Walker Paz. At shortstop, it's Cooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third, it's Justin Kramer. Left to right in the outfield, Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Cam Fees. Big thing with Colton Sherbinski, again, we talked about towards the tail end of the pregame show there, Teddy, is that Colton throws strikes. He keeps it as simple as possible on the mound, and that's what you need coming up against a Billings team. You talk about it all the time. When something's not working or when you're trading wins and losses back and forth, go back to fundamentals. Keep it simple and good things will happen.
Yeah, and that's what we saw in the 2nd game last night. That's what we saw in the 2nd game there in Billings. The 2 that the Hardhats won, it was fundamental baseball. The first one we lost yesterday was those 5 errors, and then you saw Billings turn around and commit, I think, 3 or 2 errors there in that 2nd game that we won, and that goes back to those fundamentals. We talk about Sherbinski. He's a tall right-handed pitcher. He's got really good velocity, and he's upped that this year, which has been huge. and he's got good off-speed stuff. He's not a pitcher that's going to come and overpower you, but he's going to give you a chance to win, and he's going to make this lineup have to hit the ball in order to have any chance to win.
So Colton Trubinsky to start off this game for the Hardhats. He's going to go up against Jake Orvis, the left fielder, Patrick Zimmer, the shortstop, and Cole McKenzie, the center fielder. So here comes Jake Orvis. Orvis came in yesterday as a relief pitcher. Did not bat yet this weekend, so this is his first time in the batter's box all weekend long. Sam Haig and Colton Trubinsky have one final conversation before we get set to rock and roll here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Once again, another gorgeous day. It is currently 10:01 in the morning, 51 degrees. Little overcast, but the sun's been coming in and out. Meteorology report brought to you by ESPN Radio. Here's the first pitch of the game, and Colton Trubinsky goes right down the middle there for strike one.
I think your true calling was weather instead of sports.
Trubinsky gets right back to it. Here is the 0-1 to the leadoff hitter, Jake Orvis. That's up high and away. 1-1 the count now. Well, I was fascinated with weather in science class as a kid, but it never really panned out, I guess. Here's the 1-1. That catches the outside corner there for strike two. Ball and 2 strikes the count now from Trubinsky to Orvis.
And these first pitch strikes are huge. You know, Trubinsky jumping out ahead early. This is what you like to see early on from a young pitcher.
1-2, swung on and fouled out of play first base side. Matt Vickers watches that go into the stands. The highest row of the second tier of seating, if you will, on that first base side. Ball and 2 strikes, still the count here from Trubinsky to Orvis.
I was wondering when all the kids were going to be chasing after that. It was kind of a dead ball over there, and one of the best parts is seeing these little tykes going after it.
1-2, breaking ball doesn't go down. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count up high and away. Colton Trubinsky gets the start here in Game 1. He will be followed up by Riley McSherry getting the start in Game 2. 2 pitchers that they can find the zone, command it really well. Here comes the 2-2 from Trubinsky. Caught him looking, strike 3. Backwards K starts off the entries in the scorebook here for the Hardhats defensively. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Patrick Zimmer.
Huge strikeout there, and that's got to be a confidence booster here for Trubinsky. And you want to get a good inning right off the bat. We kind of struggled in the first inning in the last couple games, so if you can get a quick 1-2-3 inning, that'll be a huge confidence boost for the entire team.
First pitch there to Zimmer is ball 1. 1-0 is his starting count. Zimmer in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday went 2 for 2 with a 2-run RBI single, 3 walks. The second game didn't have nearly as much luck. 1-0 skips low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. And what I mean by that is in the second game, Zimmer went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. And Coach Messer had touched on it, that the key was throwing strikes. When your pitcher throws strikes, good things happen. Zimmer was virtually kept off the base path. 2-0 is in there for strike 1. Colton Trubinsky coming with a great fastball, 2-1 now the count.
And you can hear the pop on the glove there of Sam Haig behind the plate, and that just speaks of how much velocity it has increased there for Trubinsky.
Next pitch goes low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. From Colton Trubinsky to Patrick Zimmer, the shortstop. He walked 4 times yesterday in 2 games, only once in Game 2, 3 times in Game 1. Came around to score a few times as well in that first game. Here comes the 3-1 from Trubinsky. Swung on and hit foul, first base side out of play. Good on Trubinsky to push the count full 1. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you like to see him battling back here into a full count. You don't want to ever get into a full count because that means your pitch count's going to get higher, but when you go down 3-1, you like to battle back.
Here comes payoff from Trubinsky. Swung on and hit foul again. Payoff pitch number 2 coming up from Colton Trubinsky.
Zimmer just feeding the creek over here on first base side out of the park. So I wonder how many baseballs really get hit in there. That's got to be a lot of balls found over there.
Payoff number 2 from Trubinsky. Swung on and hit up the middle. Bowman gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. 6-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. Great range by Cooper Bowman defensively. Here comes Cole McKenzie, the center fielder.
Yeah, we've seen this range from Cooper Bowman. He's very, very good at that shortstop position. He had 1 error yesterday, and that was when they were playing inside on the grass trying to prevent that run. So that ball comes quick at you, but you see a routine ground ball there to Cooper Bowman, you got to bet he's going to be fielding it cleanly.
A left-handed hitting Cole McKenzie looks at strike one inside on a fastball from Colton Trubinsky. No balls and a strike the count. Righty pitcher, lefty batter matchup now. 2 outs, top of the first, no score. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit right back to Trubinsky up the middle. It's stopped by pause, and he can't get the throw. So it's going to be a hard-earned infield single there for Cole McKenzie with 2 outs. Billings Royals have a man on the base path. Here comes the big bat of Cal Bjorgum.
We were just talking about Cooper Bowman there, but that range of Walker pause as he comes up a little slow, brushing himself off, but that range is absolutely amazing. He kept it in the infield, nice diving stop, and we've seen him make countless numbers of those plays. It's just been huge.
Interesting outfield shift here for the Hardhats. Zach Solano virtually in left center field. There's a big gap between both he and Cam Fees, left center to right. Bjorgum's first pitch from Trubinsky there is ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to starting count with Cole McKenzie on first and 2 outs here in a scoreless top of the first inning.
Well, on the scouting report, I'm assuming Bjorgum, and then every time we've seen him, he likes to push the ball, and that's why Solano shifted over there to left center field.
Trubinsky's check down not there in time. Wasn't really much pop on that check down, but you and I both know, Teddy, that when Colton gets that pickoff move, it is lightning.
Yeah, his feet, he's definitely worked on that move a lot over the years, and his feet are so fast he can get that pickoff move going quick.
1-0 rides high and inside on Bjorgum. 2 balls, no strikes the count now to the cleanup hitter for the Billings Royals. He has Cole McKenzie on first with 2 outs here in the top of the first. No score between the Royals and the Hardhats. Trubinsky right back to it. Here's the 2-0 to Bjorgum. That misses inside. 3 balls, no strikes the count. Bjorgum 1 pitch away from a free trip to first.
You got to think Coach Messer was having a word here with Trubinsky before the game about Bjorgum. He's such a great hitter. You can't throw anything over the zone for him to really drive.
Check down to first, gets away from Vickers, and Cole McKenzie is going to head to second, possibly third. He's got his afterburners turned on. Vickers gets the throw in. And on the botched check down, Cole McKenzie goes from first all the way to third. Cal Bjorgum now has a man 90 feet away from home with 3-0 count. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Colton Trubinsky with the check down gone wrong.
Yeah, that's really tough, and it hit the fence and kind of rolled into right field a little bit there. So it was a long run for Vickers to try and get that, but got to limit damage here with 2 outs. Got to try and get out of this.
Well, there's ball 4 to Bjorgum now. So Bjorgum gets a walk. So 2 men on the base path. On the corners, and here comes Morgan DeGuy. We were talking about it earlier in the pregame show, Teddy. Morgan DeGuy yesterday was an offensive juggernaut for this Billings Royals club last night. 4 hits, every single one of them a 2-run RBI single.
Yeah, he was definitely driving in runs, and he's got a runner on third right now, so look for Trubinsky. He's got to come with everything he's got, try to get an easy ground ball here in the infield.
First pitch to DeGuy's low and away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to count. DeGuy today is playing as the designated hitter. Yesterday for both games he was the catcher. 1 ball, no strikes from Trubinsky. Men on the corners. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. Ball and a strike the count now from Trubinsky to DeGuy. Huge moment here from Colton Trubinsky. Has to get out of a first inning jam here in the top of the first with 2 outs. Men on the corners. 1-1. Swung on and chopped, but foul third base side. Trubinsky ahead in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes, 1 pitch away from getting out of this fiasco.
And DeGuy, who's a fastball hitter, every hit he had yesterday was off that fastball, and he could really drive it. So look for Trubinsky to come with something off speed, probably towards the outside part of the plate, and really try to make DeGuy earn this run if he wants to get McKenzie in from third. If not, Trubinsky's not going to give him anything easy.
McKenzie on third, Bjorgum on first. Here's the 1-2. Low and away, but Haig makes a great stop behind the plate to prevent a run from coming in. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. It's a tough task for Tibby Paris yesterday. He had to do an exorbitant amount of backstopping, if you will, keeping balls from getting away from him there. Sam Haig looks like he's going to have to follow suit. And it looks like Cal Bjorgum gets caught between first and second. The run's going to score from McKenzie. And now Bjorgum gets tagged out. That's going to do it. So McKenzie scores in that ensuing shuffle. Cal Bjorgum is caught out on the play.
That was a planned out right there from Bjorgum at first to allow McKenzie to come in to score.
Oh, absolutely. There was no doubt in my mind about that one. So Morgan Dugai is going to go ahead and lead off the top half of the second. He still has an at-bat to finish here. So 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error defensively for the Hardhats, and nobody left on base. And at the end of a half an inning, the Billings Royals have a 1-0 lead. Your Post 22 Hardhats transition from defense to offense and will now take to the sticks. We'll be right back with the top of the Hardhats order, folks. Walker Paz, Drake Messenger, and Zach Solano here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
Walker Paz now steps into the batter's box for the Hardhats. The left-handed hitting second baseman will now look towards Tyler Frieders of the Billings Royals for his first pitch. And it's inside for ball 1. Walker Paz is looking at Tyler Frieders, the starting pitcher for the Royals. His battery mate is Jarrett Linewan behind the plate. At first is Cal Bjorgum, second Carson Zale. At shortstop, Patrick Zimmer, and at the hot corner at third, Chris Bichard. 1-0 to Paz is swung on and drilled to right field, but foul and out of play. That's going to even his count at a ball and a strike. Left to right in the outfield for the Billings Royals, it's Jake Orvis, Cole McKenzie, and Brooks Zimmer, who came in relief yesterday to pitch in the second game.
Oh, that was tough. Walker really turned on that. He got real nice bat speed around, got his hands extended, just unable to keep it fair. That was about one hopper off the wall, so look, he's looking to get a long fly ball here.
1-1 catches the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Walker Paz followed by Drake Messenger and Zach Solano. Paz hitting .286 on the season. He saw his batting average skyrocket yesterday and on Wednesday night. Here's his 1-2. Swung on, and that is hit softly to second. Zale gets the stop. His throw to first is not in time. A very well-earned infield single there for Walker Paz. That's going to bring up Drake Messenger with a man on first and nobody out.
Walker, who's really been finding his swing and doing a nice job so far these last couple games. He came into Wednesday's game with a .059 batting average. Like you just mentioned, he now is up to .286, and he's going to see it go even higher with a 1 hit already today. So he's really seeing the ball well, and that's what you need from a leadoff hitter.
Messenger tries to lay the bunt down, and he does. Linewan gets the stop behind the plate. Throw to first is in time. So Drake Messenger sacrifice is over. Walker Paz to scoring position in second. A 2-3 sacrifice bunt. 1 on, man in scoring position. Here comes Zach Solano here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and what more can you say about Zach Solano here in the batter's box? He's one of the best hitters we've seen from any team that we've got to watch, and he's looking to get Walker in from second.
First pitch is check swung right back to the pitcher. Frieders dropped it, and the throw to first isn't going to get there. Oh, my goodness. Tyler Frieders had an easy out there. That's going to be an E1 on him. Walker Paz advances 90 feet to scoring position. That is going to bring up the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers.
Fundamentals, we talked about him early, but now with Solano on the base path, runners on the corner and only 1 out, he could be getting in motion here. Try to get over second and get 2 runners in scoring position here for Vickers, because a base hit scores at least 1, and Walker Paz only 90 feet away.
First pitch to Vickers is hit right up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. Walker Paz is going to calmly trot home. It's a 1-out. RBI single for Matt Vickers. The Hardhats are now all square at 1 with the Billings Royals.
Real good job here. And we talked to Coach Messer yesterday in his interview, and he said this middle of the lineup and these big bats really have to produce. Well, they started to produce on Wednesday, yesterday's 2 games, and already starting off early here as Vickers gets that RBI single.
Well, here comes Eric Petrie with men on first and second. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. First pitch almost got away from line one, but that's ball 1 to Petrie. This is his first time in the lineup since last Sunday in the first game against the Billings Royals. So this is a team that he has faced twice. Eric Petrie comes in with a .429 batting average. 1-0 is in there for strike 1 from Tyler Frieders, so now ball and a strike is count. Ball and a strike to Petrie. He has Vickers on first. Solano in scoring position on second with 1 out, bottom of the first. We're now all tied. Frieders deals the 1-1. Petrie fouls at first base side. Ball and 2 strikes, now the count. Oh, what a great catch there by the little girl in the crowd. Met with raucous applause.
That's awesome. That was really cool to see.
Ball and 2 strikes, now the count from Frieders to Petrie. Petrie, the DH in this game. Here's the 1-2. Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Eric Petrie's only struck out 3 times at the plate. He's walked twice. 6 hits and 14 registered at bats. 2 balls, 2 strikes his count. 2 men on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Here's a 2-2. High and inside. That's going to push the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And near the top of the team lead here with OPS, he's sitting 5th. He's one of the big bats in this lineup that Coach Messer was talking about looking to produce, and he has so far up to this point.
3-2 is high and away, ball 4, and that is going to load up the bases for Sam Haig coming in, tied with Timmy Paris in this game with the best batting average on the team at an even .500. 5th game of the season that Sam Haig's playing in. He has Eric Petrie on first, Matt Vickers on second, Zach Solano on third. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Hardhats have a great chance to blow this game open and take the lead. First pitch to Haig catches the outside corner for strike 1. No one won the count.
It's a huge opportunity right here. You want to stay away from the ground ball. If you can get anything to the outfield, that would score 2 here. And Sam Haig, a very smart baseball player, understands this.
0-1 catches the outside corner again, strike 2. So quickly, Haig is in an 0-2 hole. To Tyler Frieders with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Hardhats and the Royals tied at 1. Hardhats looking to take the lead. Here's the 0-2 to Haig. Just missed outside. Ball and 2 strikes to count.
That was really close. I think that was the
Very
exact
close.
same spot that the 2 strikes were called on him. So Sam Haig looking to protect here. You know, 1-2 count. This is a pitcher's count. You got to shorten your swing and try to get something in play.
1-2 almost hit him high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Sam Haig trying to battle back, was down 0-2. Now he's even at deuces. He has the bases loaded. Solano on third, Vickers on second, Petrie on first. 1 out, bottom of the first. 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Haig goes down. 2 outs now. Bases are still loaded. Here comes Cam Fees, the right fielder.
And now with 2 outs, that takes away the sacrifice flies. So the only way you're going to get these runs in is with a base hit. And Cam Fees, he understands this situation. He's a very good hitter, and he's looking a base hit to score 2 in Solano and then also Vickers from second.
Here's the first pitch to Fees. That's in there for strike 1 off speed. No balls in to strike the count from Frieders to Fees. Should Fees safely get on the base path or safely knock in a few runs, Cooper Bowman is on deck. Should he not, we will go to 5, 6, and 7. Morgan Dugai will lead off the top half of the second. Next pitch to Fees is swung on and hit right up the middle. Zale gets the stop, tosses to short to Patrick Zimmer, and it's in time. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice that ends the threat for the Hardhats. They do, however, get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error defensively for the Billings Royals, and they leave 2 men on. And at the end of 1 full inning, we are all square at 1 run aside coming into the top half of the second. Due up again in the top half of the second, Morgan Dugai, who was still batting at the top half of the first when it ended, followed by Jarrett Linewand and Brooks Zimmer. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it.
And that's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to...
The guy starts off this inning exactly where he left off in the top half of the first, which is in the batter's box. He was still in the middle of an at-bat when Cal Bjorgum got thrown out between first and second in a pickle, a very well-scripted and planned pickle to score the only Billings run of this game so far. Dugai fouls off his first pitch. No balls and a strike is starting count. He's followed by Jarrett Linewand, the catcher, and Brooks Zimmer, the right fielder. And Sherbinsky deals. Next pitch swung on and missed on that fastball. Strike two. Quickly, Sherbinsky ahead. No balls, two strikes.
Well, with Dugai unable to catch up with that high fastball, look for Sherbinsky once again to try to climb the ladder and get him to go up high.
The 0-2 is in the dirt. That's going to make it a ball and two strikes. I guess I kind of technically foreshadowed us there. I was originally going to call a 1-2 count. It was not. Ball one was thrown. So now we're at a 1-2. Don't get clairvoyance points for a lucky guess. Here comes the 1-2. Low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You talk about Travinsky's velocity. He's hit around 83, 84 in bullpen sessions this season. So 1 year can do so much for a pitcher.
Yeah, he got bigger, and you can tell with how he's pitching and the way that he's pitching.
2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. K number 2 for Sherbinsky in the scorebook, the first by virtue of a swinging strike 3. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. Here comes Jarrett Linewand.
Huge start here for Sherbinsky. It started slow the last few games, and Sherbinsky allowed just that 1 run in that first inning. He's starting off hot.
Jarrett Linewand only played in the first game batting as he looks at ball 1 here. 1-0 is starting count. He went 0 for 3 with a walk, a hit by pitch, but 3 Ks, 2 of them looking yesterday. Sherbinsky looking to keep that rolling. 1-0 is swung on and chopped foul third base side. That's going to even things at a ball and a strike. He did not play in the second game. Dawson Smith took over designated hitter duties for game 2. Linewand taking over catching duties for Morgan Dugai. They just basically switched positions. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second. 1-1's the score. The 1-1 rides up high. 2 balls and a strike now from Sherbinsky to Linewand. Brooks Zimmer, the right fielder, is on deck. Has yet to see a pitch from an opposing Hardhats pitcher in this head-to-head series. 2-1, missed just up high. 3 balls and a strike to count. Linewand a pitch away from a free trip to first.
Real tough pitch to lay off there. Just a little tall right there. Sherbinsky just got to make the adjustment and bring the strike zone down a little bit to fit this umpire behind the plate.
3-1, ball 4. And Sherbinsky issues his second walk of the day. So there's Linewand at first. A man on, 1 out, double play ball in effect to end this inning. Here comes Brooks Zimmer. Zimmer came in to pitch in relief yesterday in the first game and went 2 innings. On deck should a double play ball not end the inning is Chris Bouchard playing at third base. Sherbinsky's first pitch is in there for strike 1. Good first pitch strike from Sherbinsky, 0-1 starting count.
And we talk about it so much, that first pitch strike leads to outs, and it's not just somebody that says it. It really happens. You can have the numbers to back it up. So Sherbinsky jumping out ahead early.
0-1 is swung on and hit to second. Pause, dives, can't make the stop. Fees is in from right, and he throws it into the infield. Everybody advances 90 feet, so it's a one-out single here for Brooks Zimmer. Men on first and second now with one out here in the top of the second, all square at one aside. Here comes Chris Bouchard.
It would be interesting to see if Bouchard will sacrifice bunt these runners over to try and get him in scoring position. You know, you don't want to get that second out, but you also want these runners, or you want a base hit to be able to score these runners. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of ball the manager for this Billings team wants to play.
Either small ball or long ball, if that's the correct comparison. If not, I'm just sticking with it. Sherbinsky checks both runners on first and second. Here's his first pitch to Bouchard. It's in there for strike one.
Well, looks like he's getting the green light to go ahead and swing away. So now if you're Sherbinsky, that's exactly what you need to do, is stay low in the zone with that fastball, put that two-seam on the outside part of the plate, get an easy ground ball there to Walker Paz and try and roll it up the middle to get out of this inning.
Sherbinsky checks both runners. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, and it is hit to second. Paz makes the stop. Throw to second is in time. So he gets a 4-6 fielder's choice at second. However, the lead runner advances to third. That is Jarrett Linewan. So now there are men on the corners with two outs here for Carson Zale, the second baseman, hitting in the 9-hole for the Billings Royals.
On ball to Walker Paz, and say it ain't so, it happened. So that was a nice play there by Walker, and a nice scoop over there at second by Cooper Bowman, looking like he's a first baseman out there, but, you know, got that big second out. Now you can go first or second for the third.
First pitch to Carson Zale, and swung on and hit in the air into right field. Cam Fees tracking underneath it, makes the catch. What a great defensive play by Cam Fees, and that will end off the top of the second inning. So it's no runs on a hit, no errors defensively for the Hardhats, and two men left on the corners, and at the end of an inning and a half, the Hardhats and the Billings Royals are still all square at one run aside. Bottom half of the second inning come up. Due up for the Hardhats, number 22, Cooper Bowman, Justin Kramer in the 9-hole, and then back to the top of the order to Walker Paz. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Cooper Bowman set to lead off the bottom half of the second inning here for the Post 22 Hardhats. Tyler Frieders and company take their respective defensive positions for the Billings Royals. It'll be Cooper Bowman, Justin Kramer, and then back to the top of the order to Walker Paz here to start off the bottom half of the second. Frieders in his windup, throws his first pitch to Bowman. That swung on and drilled into left field. That's a base hit. Cooper Bowman now 4 for 9 against the Royals on this weekend. He had that big bases-clearing RBI triple yesterday to end off his performance. One man on, nobody out. Here comes Justin Kramer.
That was a huge at-bat there for Cooper Bowman, jumping on the first pitch he saw from Frieders and just pulling it right over the head of Bouchard there at third base. So a nice at-bat, and you got to think Kramer's just going to sacrifice, bunt him around, try and get this go-ahead run in scoring position.
First pitch to Kramer goes low and away. Bowman takes off. Throw to second is off track. So Bowman is into second. Guess we don't have to worry about a sacrifice bunt now. Makes it that much easier for Justin Kramer at the plate. Ball and no strikes is starting count.
Yeah, that was huge there. You thought he might be dead to rights in the field there, but not a very good throw from line one behind the plate, and Cooper Bowman on his horse getting his wheels done.
Kramer, now he drops the bunt. Stop is made by Frieders. The throw to first is over the head of Cal Bjorgum at first. They are saying he is safe and that the throw took him off the base path. Wow. So Justin Kramer is on first. Cooper Bowman moves to third. We have men on the corners now with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Here comes Walker Paz with a chance to give the Hardhats a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, that's tough there. Zale shifting over there for Bjorgum, who's charging on that bunt. And, you know, you're used to Bjorgum there at first, a little bit taller there than Zale. But, you know, nice hustle there by Kramer. And with no outs, you got to think he's going to be in motion, try and get second base and get in scoring position.
Kramer is checked at first. It's not there in time. Walker Paz 1 for 1. He singled and came around to score the only run the Hardhats have on the board. That was back in the bottom of the first. He now has a chance to put them in the lead. First pitch to Paz is swung on, and that is hit foul, first base side. Just tight roping the line. No balls and a strike his count.
That was close there. That would have been a really nice hit there for Walker. However, it was just about 2 inches foul. You got to come back and try and do it once again as he comes up, and a really good hitter. You want to get this RBI and get this go-ahead run in with no outs.
Check down to first, doesn't get there in time, so Kramer's safe. Walker Paz in the second game yesterday went 2 for 4 with an RBI double, a run scored, and a walk. The game prior to that, he went 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a strikeout. Men on the corners, here comes his 0-1. Way inside. Count evens at a ball and a strike. So Paz with a great day at the plate yesterday. We've mentioned it multiple times. His batting average has skyrocketed. And if he gets a big hit here, he'll see that and his RBI count go up. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and a hit into right field. That's a base hit. Bowman is going to score. Justin Kramer is into second. It's an RBI single for Walker Paz. Hardhats have a 2-1 lead over the Billings Royals here in the bottom of the second.
One of the most important bats in this lineup is Walker Paz, and he shows you that right there. Already now 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles, an RBI, a run scored. He's putting together a pretty healthy stat line here early on.
And now here comes Drake Messenger. He had that 2-3 sacrifice bunt, shows bunt, but his first pitch is outside for ball 1. Messenger has men on first and second. Coach Messer trying to go small ball here to advance both runners into scoring position. Paz and Kramer, 2 of the fastest runners on this team. Definitely a great move. Bjorgum's trying to crash from first. Messenger shows bunt, and he lays it down the third base side, and it goes by Bjorgum, by Frieders, the pitcher, and he's not going to get the throw off. It is an infield bunt single there for Drake Messenger. No outs, bases loaded. Here comes Zach Solano.
That was the perfect bunt there from Messenger. You had Bjorgum crashing from first because they were trying to get the lead runner in Kramer at third base, and Bouchard was covering the base. Now Drake just put together the perfect bunt, pushing it past Frieders, getting that.
First balls and a strike, the count to Zach Solano. Oh, that's going in a left. He's going to score the infield, and Zach Solano, 2-run RBI lead here in the bottom of the second.
And you're coming around. Ball on the inside base, and
Chris first pitch, 2 men and scoring, no one out here. Has an RBI, swings and misses.
He's
1-2.
Next closest is
2-2 approaching the ball. This is the fence. Still 2 men in scoring position, and now Eric Petrie comes up. Walked the first time he was in the batter's box. So an unfortunate strikeout there for Vickers. First pitch to Petrie, misses low and away. That's ball 1.
Still with only 1 out here. There's no double play ball. His first base is vacant here. And a base hit will still score 2, and Petrie a very, very big bat for this lineup. It's nice to have him back, and he's looking to contribute early.
1-0, misses low and away. 2 balls and 2 balls and no strikes. The count. Eric Petrie is succeeded in the on-deck circle by Sam Haig. Last time he was up, he struck out with the bases loaded and 2 outs, or was the second out, I should say. 2-0 the count to Petrie. Next pitch misses low. Quickly, 3 balls and no strikes to count. 1 pitch away from loading them up once again for Haig. Three balls, no strikes to count to Petrie. He has Solano on second, Messenger on third. 1 out, bottom of the second. Now Frieders steps off the rubber. Quick recess now, right back to it. Sam Hague is in the on-deck circle, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here comes the 3-0 to Petrie. Misses, ball 4. So Eric Petrie draws a 4-pitch walk. Bases are once again loaded for Sam Hague here with 1 out in the bottom half of the second. And it looks like we're going to have a conference here with Tyler Frieders on the mound.
And that's the 4th walk for Eric Petrie on the season. 2nd of this game. He was stranded at first in that bases loaded scenario that you talked about in that first inning. So you got to think Sam Hague, a lot to prove here, coming back with the same scenario in his next at bat. He's looking to really get something going and be able to drive in a couple runs here with Solano and Messenger on second and third respectively.
Sam Hague again came into this game tied with Timmy Paris for the best batting average on the squad at an even .500. I could be wrong. That's kind of good. You know, it's nothing special, I guess, 500 batting average, right?
Yeah, you know, that's just so that's not anything to scoff at there. He has and it goes up to 750 with runners in scoring position. So, you know, he definitely likes these situations as well.
First pitch to Hague, misses outside, low and away for ball 1. 1-0 is the count here to Hague, who, again, he struck out with the bases loaded the last time he had this scenario. It's the exact same scenario as the last inning, 1 out loaded. Infield's crashing, check down to second, not there in time. Another synchronized choreographic routine there for the infield, the Billings Royals.
They do a lot of shifts here. This is a team that likes to play a lot of shifts in this infield.
1-0 is swung on and popped up, fouling out of play, first base side. Count, evens for Hague to a ball and a strike.
This offense is absolutely exploding. 6 hits already, and we're not even through the bottom of the second inning. So this offense is really feeling it today.
1-1, hit him right in the bucket, and the Hardhats are going to plate another run. Drake Messenger will score. Bases are still loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Hardhats now have a 5-1 lead with Cam Fee stepping into the batter's box.
Cam getting another opportunity here with the bases loaded to try and drive in a few runs. And that was a real good at-bat there from Sam Hague. He understood you can't get out of the way of that pitch because taking that pitch means a run is scored, and you have to do that. Real nice job being unselfish there in the box.
First pitch for Fees is hit foul and out of play. No balls and a strike to count. He grounded it into a 4-6 fielder's choice with the bases loaded the last time he was up, and that ended the bottom half of the first. For the record, the Hardhats have batted through the order here in this inning. Fees' next pitch is swung on, and it's hit in the air to right field. It's going foul, and it is going out of play. So that goes into the creek, and Cam Fees is now behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
A big inning for the Hardhats so far, and this is what they rely on. We noticed it last year right when we first started, that big inning. They rely on that big inning, and they always get it. So, you know, getting it early is huge for this game.
0-2 is high and away. Fees laid off of it. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to the gentleman patrolling right field defensively for the Hardhats. For the second time in this inning, he singled and came around to score. Here comes the 1-2 to Fees. High and inside. Count evens at deuces. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper Bowman has had a monster weekend here. 4 for 9 with that bases clearing RBI triple yesterday. A single today came in to score. Here comes the 2-2 to Fees. High and away, ball 3. Cam Fees is 1 pitch away from a walk that would once again score another run for the Hardhats. That would bring Zach Solano in to score. Tyler Frieders, bases loaded, 1 out. Here comes his payoff. Swung on, and it is hit into right field. Zimmer is underneath it, and he makes the catch. Everybody tags. Second and third will advance. Throw's not going to get to home. So it's an RBI sacrifice fly for Cam Fees. The Hardhats now have a 6-1 lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
It's exactly what you needed right there, and good base running here from Petrie to get from second to third. You keep Sam Hague on first base, and now Cooper Bowman gets to come up once again, and he can another run here for the Hardhats. But Cam Fees doing what you need to do, pushing it to the outfield, getting that long fly ball and taking and not giving any chance for a throw out at the plate, getting that big RBI sac fly.
Runner goes from first. That's Cam Fee. Strike one's thrown. Throw to second. Doesn't get there in time, and the ball skips away from the middle infielders. So Eric Petrie's going to score. The Hardhats now have a 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the second with 2 outs.
And just continuing to pour it on here. This is what you need to do. You smell blood. You have a runner in scoring position now. So if Cooper Bowman can get the second hit of this inning for himself, then he can score Sam Haig there from second.
So now Sam Haig is on second. And now Cooper Bowman looks at 2 balls and no strikes. 1 man in scoring position for him now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Hardhats pouring it on. They came in the inning tied. Now they have a 7-1 lead. Next pitch to Bowman's in there for strike 1. So quickly it's a 2-1 count now. Sam Haig with that stolen base. He is in scoring position. Excuse me, a ball and 2 strikes is the count. Frieder's trying to get out of it. 1-2 is swung on and hit hard in the air to center. Cole McKenzie's tracking. He is underneath it, makes the catch, and that will do it. Well, the Hardhats have one heck of an inning under their belt. They played 6 runs to take a 7-1 lead here coming into the top half of the third. Due up for the Billings Royals back to the top to 1-2-3. Jake Orvis 0 for 1. Patrick Zimmer 0 for 1. And Cole McKenzie 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. We'll be right back in a few moments, folks, with the top of the third here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what
For the Hardhats, statistically, they're in the bottom of the second. It was 6 runs on 4 hits, an error defensively for the Billings Royals, and a man left in scoring position on the base path. Going out of the top of the third, statistically across the board, the Billings Royals now back to the batter's box with 1, 2, and 3 in the order, and Jake Orvis leading off. Have 1 run on 2 hits, 2 blemishes in the field. The Hardhats, 7 runs on 6 hits, and an error defensively. Jake Orvis leads off. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking to Colton Trubinsky, who has really stepped into a groove here through 2 innings of work. First pitch to Orvis, tried to get the bunt, and he got way under it. That fouled off directly behind home plate. Any more loft, Teddy, you're going to have to barehand that.
Yeah, I was worried it was going to hit Walker's mom walking here. I don't know if my mic picked up. I wanted to say heads, and I think I whispered it, but
I caught it.
That was close. That was coming quick.
You're just trying to do your civic duty of warning people of oncoming foul balls. Orvis bunts that one to Strabinsky. He gets the toss to first, and it's in time. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats on a 1-3 putout. Here comes Patrick Zimmer, the shortstop. And I'd like to make a point here, Teddy, because this has happened multiple times. The second game and now today, where the Billings Royals have tried to bunt for a single or bunt in 2-out scenarios, and they've been thrown out every time.
Yeah, and that goes to speak to the fielding of these pitchers. These pitchers are taught to field so well, and you can see it with Strabinsky right there and with Cody Carlson last night. All these pitchers are just taught that they are a fielder as soon as that ball leaves their hand.
Strabinsky deals ball 1 inside to Patrick Zimmer. 0 for 1 on a 6-3 groundout. He sends his next pitch into left center field. Zach Solano tracks underneath it, and he makes the catch. 4 pitches, 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Cole McKenzie.
Yeah, this is efficient, very efficient here from Strabinsky. He had an 11-pitch inning in that second inning, and now he's only taken 4 pitches to get this second out. So he needs to continue just to roll, and he can go deep in this game, really get a quality start.
First pitch to Cole McKenzie. Misses for ball 1.
Where that missed, I'm still confused about. We'll have to go back and look at the replay here. But, Blue gets to dictate what goes on out in the field.
1-0, skips low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. I have to completely agree with you on that sentiment.
That's the absolute hardest part about sports is the referees, the umpires, they dictate a lot, and you just got to deal with it and make the adjustment. That's what great players do.
2-0 rides high and outside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Cole McKenzie, who has one of the only 2 hits that Colton Stravinsky has surrendered in this start. That came back at the top of the first. And then a subsequent error by Stravinsky advanced McKenzie around the base path. He eventually came around to score. 3-0 in there for strike 1. 3-1 now the count from Stravinsky to McKenzie. Should he safely get on base, Cal Bjorgum's on deck, and he walked and was involved in that completely scripted and purposeful pickle that scored the only Billings run in this game. 3-1, swung on and hit foul, so Stravinsky has battled back, pushed the count full. Big payoff pitch could end the inning here.
Very big payoff pitch. You're already this deep in a bat. You don't want to have to face another batter if you're a pitcher, so Stravinsky's going to go with that fastball that he's commanded so well today.
3-2 is swung on and hit foul. He's now about to match his pitch total from the last inning at 11 with this next throw. Payoff pitch number 2 coming up.
Still under 50 pitches as well. He's having a very efficient day out there on the mound and throwing strikes. This is, Coach Messer and this pitching staff, this entire coaching staff has to be happy with what they're seeing from Mr. Stravinsky there on the mound, especially against a very potent Billings lineup.
Payoff number 2 is swung on and ripped up the middle into center for a base hit. So Cole McKenzie now with 2 singles, both of them coming with 2 outs, is now 2 for 2 on the day. That's going to bring up Cal Bjorgum, who walked the first time he was up.
Yeah, and the 2 lefties back-to-back in this lineup, the only 2 lefties in this Billings lineup. So it's nice to see that Stravinsky, no matter what, in the right-handed box or left-handed box, he's throwing strikes and he's still attacking these hitters the same way. And you got to give credit there to Sam Haig, calling a really good game behind the plate.
First pitch from Stravinsky to Bjorgum is foul and out of play. He starts off with an 0-1 count. Bjorgum walked on 4 pitches the last time he was up, so he's going to have to see a little more than that. If he wants to walk, he'll have to see at minimum 5 now, but he's behind 0-1. He is Cole McKenzie on first. That's the second time he has taken that respective position on the base path with a single. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Hardhats with a 7-1 lead, looking to keep it that way. Stravinsky to Bjorgum. Here's the 0-1. That's up there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes quickly to Bjorgum. Stravinsky 1 pitch away from K number 3 in the conclusion of the top half of the third.
Real nice pitch there from Stravinsky. However, you don't want to climb the ladder against such a good hitter, and especially on that outer part of the plate. Let him get his arms extended. That's some bad news. So nice to get the call there. Look for him to come with a breaking ball off speed, try and take away the power of Bjorgum at the plate.
0-2, hit him. That's the second time in as many games that Bjorgum has taken a ball. That one goes off of his upper right thigh. So now he takes his position on first for the second time in this game. That is going to bring up Morgan Dugai, the designated hitter, who again, Teddy, has been very potent for this team. However, struck out the last time he was up.
Yeah, yesterday a very efficient day for Dugai at the plate. He drove in a lot of runs, had a very, very good day, and 0 for 1 with a strikeout to this point. We've seen inconsistencies from Dugai. In the second game in Billings, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and then he comes in and just absolutely tears it up yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what Dugai you get in the plate here.
So now Stravinsky's got 2 men on the base path to worry about. First pitch to Dugai, swung on and hit in the air to left. Messenger calls for it underneath it, and left makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. F7 in the scorebook ends the entries offensively for the Billings Royals in the top half of the third. It's no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path. And at the end of 2.5, the Hardhats have preserved their 6-run lead at 7-1. They look to keep adding to it as they now go to the bottom half of the third. Justin Kramer to lead things off, followed by the top of the order of Walker Paz and Drake Messenger. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
What matters most. We're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
By SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Justin Kramer, 0 for 1, leads off the bottom half of the third, and he looks at strike one there from Tyler Frieders, still on the mound. No balls and a strike to count. Oh, ball and no strikes to count, sorry.
Yeah,
thought the umpire pointed the other way. And there's another pitch low and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
At least the calls are going both ways now. So I can understand that. That first pitch it looked over the heart of the plate. Of course, we don't have the view the umpire does, but it was close.
2-0 is fouled, and now Kramer has a strike. 2 balls and a strike to count. It's Justin Kramer reached on that error, so he's 0 for 1, followed by Walker Paz, 2 for 2, 2 singles, one of them an RBI, and then Drake Messenger, who is 1 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and then a bunt single. Here's the 2-1. Low and away, 3 balls and a strike. So Justin Kramer, 1 pitch away from his second trip to the base path, this time by virtue of a walk. Frieders in his windup. Here's a 3-1. That's low and away, ball 4. So Justin Kramer, quality at bat there. He is the leadoff man on first now with no outs here in the bottom half of the third. Hardhats up 7-1, looking to blow it open. Here comes Walker Paz, and it looks like we're going to get another conference here with Frieders.
And I believe it's going to be a pitching change. I don't think it looks like Cameron Maciel is going to be coming in for the Billings Royals. But just to touch on the at bat there for Kramer, that's what makes him so effective is the fact that he just gets on base. You know, he reached by an error, he got a walk, he has a .438 on base percentage. So, you know, this young man coming out and getting that leadoff walk is huge.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick recess. We'll tabulate some stats, gather some thoughts together, and Walker Paz will now face Cameron Maciel, the relief pitcher for the Billings Royals. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
4 strikeouts, not a single walk. And now he will start off against the top of the Hardhats order here with Walker Paz, followed by Drake Messenger. Those round out the gentlemen due up in this inning. Justin Kramer started off the inning, was walked by Tyler Frieders, and now he's on first with no outs here in the bottom of the third.
This is huge, having to make a pitching change so early, and only after 58 pitches there from Tyler Frieders. Had a rough day on the mound. He went 2+ innings pitched, allowed 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and hit 1 batter in his day.
Kramer goes. First pitch is in there for a strike. Throw to second. It's not going to get there in time, and it skips away from Patrick Zimmer, the shortstop. So there's Justin Kramer into scoring position with a stolen base. Paz tried to lay the bunt down, looked at strike 1, and now he doesn't have to worry about a bunt unless he feels like advancing Justin to third.
And that's the 4th stolen base here for Kramer, and he leads the team in that category. He has 4 out of the 11 total stolen bases for this team.
Paz now swings away. He chops that one to second. Zale gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. 4-3 fielder's choice advances Justin Kramer to third. Great hitting from Walker Paz. One down with a man 90 feet away from scoring. Here comes Drake Messenger. Messenger is 1 for 1, 2-3 sacrifice bunt, and then he had a bunt single earlier down the third base line. His first pitch is swung on and hit to short. Zimmer gets the stop throw to first. It's a 6-3. Hardhats now third and an 8.
Nice strikeout offense. He has very, very good contact rate at 93% of his at-bats. He has a contact rate, so that's what you like to see, and getting that RBI fielder's choice is huge.
First pitch to Solano misses outside for ball 1 from Cameron Maciel. He took over for Tyler Frieders, who went 2+ innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned. Here comes the 1-0 to Solano. Swung on and fouled directly behind home. Ball and a strike, now the count. Solano has that even 1-1 count. He has 2 outs and no one on the base path. Should he safely get on the base path, Matt Vickers is on deck. Solano in this game is 1 for 2. Reached on an error and then hit a 2-run RBI double. His next pitch missed up high. 2 balls and a strike, now the count.
And he's had just a heck of a weekend, or a heck of a season as well. He's hit in 10 straight games for these Hardhats, and he's seeing the ball well.
Next pitch to Solano misses low. 3 balls and a strike now his count. 2 outs, bottom of the third. Hardhats now have an 8-1 lead. They've scored in every inning in this game, 1, 6, and 1 respectively. 3-1 to Solano is popped up foul and out of play. That's going to push the count full here for Cameron Maciel, now taking over pitching duties for Tyler Frieders.
It's going to be interesting to see the arms that Billings will have to use in this second game. We've seen a lot of their pitchers, and they've used pretty much all of them the first 3 games.
Payoff is fouled by Solano, so he protects and stays alive. Payoff pitch number 2 now coming up from Cameron Maciel.
And that foul ball went right off the shoulder there of Jarrett Linewald behind the plate for Billings. It's good to see him just kind of shake it off and get back to it. So you never like to see anybody get hurt, and I see him back behind the plate. Now Solano, big at bat here with 2 outs.
Payoff pitch number 2 coming from Maciel. Any deals? Ball 4. So a well-earned walk there by Zach Solano. He will take his position on first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers, comes up with an RBI single and a strikeout. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Excuse me, the morning. I have to get used to the fact that we're going to play morning games here.
Yeah, that was tough. You know, it felt kind of weird coming at 10 o'clock.
First pitch for Vickers is fouled right off of his foot, so he does a happy dance trying to shake it off there. No balls and a strike, his starting count. He is Zach Solano on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats still have an 8-1 lead, looking to blow it open. Big 10-run to watch. Here's it, trying to make position.
Base running there by 2 singles. He's
Petrie's in there for a walk and a single. Got both of those gentlemen. Just sprays foul. No balls, 2 strikes quickly, the count to Petrie. Maciel's 1 pitch away from ending the 3rd inning.
And this 3-4-5 spot in the lineup between Solano, Vickers, and Petrie, only that 1 strikeout there of Vickers, and any other time they've reached base. So this lineup there, this spot definitely doing damage, and Petrie looking to continue that trend.
0-2, just missed outside. Ball and 2 strikes the count. Awfully close, but Petrie stays alive.
Yeah, that was really close there. With 2 strikes, you'd like to see him protect a little more there, but you know, a very disciplined hitter at the plate, and you know, he knows to drive in Solano from
strike 3. Ball defensively for the Royals, and 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. And at the end of 3 full innings, the Hardhats now have an 8-1 lead. Excuse me, there was 1 run score. That was Justin Kramer coming around. It is an 8-1 lead here after 3 innings. We go to the top of the 4th. Jarrett Linewald, Brooks Zimmer, and Chris Bouchard due up for the Billings Royals. We'll be right back, folks, here on
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic the best-selling car in its class. Even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
All set now for the top of the fourth inning here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. It is game 1 out of 2, day 2 out of 2, with doubleheader action featuring the visiting Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Mark Benetti and Teddy Lightbold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action this entire weekend. Hardhats have an 8-1 lead after 3 full innings of play. Jarrett Linewan leads off against Colton Cherbinsky, who has definitely found a groove in this start. Linewan's first pitch is popped up. That goes foul. It is out of play and just shy of the stands. Really up onto the concourse here at the Fitz. Nobody grounded into a fielder's choice. Statistically, so Colton Cherbinsky goes right back to it. 1-1 is swung on and popped up to the infield. Cooper Bowman's tracking it from shortstop, and he makes a catch. Pop 6 in the scorebooks, folks. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Brooks Zimmer, 1 for 1 with a single.
Real effective here for Colton Cherbinsky, and we talked so much about that first runner getting on base. Well, the first hitter in each inning has yet to reach base here against Cherbinsky, and he's just being very effective there on the mound.
First pitch to Brooks Zimmer's fouled. No balls and a strike to count. Zimmer singled and then was tossed out at second at a 4-6 fielder's choice that Chris Bouchard grounded into. He is in the on-deck circle. Cherbinsky from the windup, 0-1. That catches the zone on a breaking ball, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes quickly, the count up ahead for Cherbinsky.
That was nasty. That even fooled me. I thought it was just going to drill Zimmer, and it broke back over the plate. That was a very, very good pitch.
0-2. Just up high and inside. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Colton Cherbinsky has 2 strikeouts on the day. He's 1 pitch away from number 3 in the scorebook. 1 backwards, 1 forward so far. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and fouled again. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Cherbinsky with those 2 strikeouts also has 2 walks and a hit batter. So 2 for 3 on punch-outs and free base runners allowed. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strikeouts now. 2 down. 2 up for the Hardhats defensively. Here comes Chris Bouchard.
You got to be impressed with what Colton Cherbinsky's doing on the mound right now. He's having himself a day, and you know he's a young pitcher that got some work last year out of the bullpen, came in relief, and this is his first year in the starting role, and he's taking it and running with it.
First pitch to Bouchard is a swing and a miss, strike 1. No balls and a strike to count. You had mentioned the last time we were talking about pitch count, he was just under 50, and that was back in the 3rd.
Yeah, and he's only up to 62 right now, so he's going to be able to go deep in this ball game. You got to think he could probably go 5-6 innings here, maybe the entire game if he continues this up.
Next pitch from Cherbinsky misses the outside corner. Ball and a strike now the count to Bouchard. Bouchard has nobody on the base path. 2 outs here in the top half. Royals trailing 8-1 to the Hardhats. Here comes the 1-1. Just missed the zone. 2 balls and a strike to count. Bouchard back in the batter's box. Cherbinsky back in the windup. 2-1 is swung on and lined to Walker Paz, and he makes the catch. That will do it. It's a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Hardhats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. Probably the easiest statistic line to present to all of you back at home. And at the end of 3.5 innings, the Hardhats have preserved their 8-1 lead. They go back to the sticks, look to keep piling it on the bottom half of the 4th. Sam Haig, Cam Fees, Cooper Bowman due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hard Hats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the Guard Camp.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they...
Bottom half of the fourth inning now coming to us at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. The Post 22 Hard Hats have an 8-1 lead over the Billings Royals. Sam Haig, Cam Fees, and Cooper Bowman set to go to the offensive and try and tack on to that run total. Cameron Maciel still in relief of Tyler Frieders, who went 2+ innings with 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 7 runs, 5 of those earned, 6 hits. That was all on 58 pitches. Haig comes in, 0 for 1, struck out and was hit by a pitch right in his bucket the last time he was up. And he looks at strike 1 to start off his 3rd plate appearance. Sam Haig followed by Cam Fees, and then Cooper Bowman. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and drilled foul, first base side. Count quickly goes to 0-2, so Haig's behind. Cam Fees was involved in a 4-6 fielder's choice and a sac fly RBI to right. Here comes the 0-2 to Haig. Just missed outside, ball and 2 strikes to count. Cooper Bowman, on the other hand, who is the 3rd gentleman due up, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Here comes the 1-2 to Haig. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes, evens the count.
A nice at-bat, a quality at-bat here for Sam Haig, and he's not going to wow you with his power or the ball off the bat, but he's a very smart hitter, very high baseball IQ, and he's very patient, disciplined at the plate.
2-2, low and away, and that discipline has paid off. He was behind 0-2. Now he's battled back to a full count here. Maciel has to punch him out here, or Haig has a free trip to first. Maciel on the windup. 3-2 is low for ball 4. So Sam Haig was down, no balls and 2 strikes. Battled back to 4 straight balls. He will valiantly take his place on first. Here comes Cam Fees with a man on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th.
You got to think you're starting to get in the heads of these Billings pitchers because Maciel, we talked about, he didn't allow a walk in his appearance in Billings, and now he has 2.
First pitch to Fees is swung on and hit to second. Zale overthrows the shortstop, and the ball goes all the way into left field. So Haig is going to roll into 3rd. Cam Fees is on first. That is an E4 charged on that play. And now it's men on the corners and nobody out here for the Hard Hats in the bottom of the 4th, and now Cooper Bowman has a chance to really do some damage.
Yeah, that was huge, and the speed of Cam Fees here, you got to think no outs. He's going to be in motion with runners on the corners, so you're looking to get 2 runners in scoring position here, and I think Maciel knows that as well. He's going to try and keep Cam there close on first base, but you know it's going to be tough. This kid can absolutely fly.
Cooper Bowman is now up, men on the corners, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch is low. 1-0 the count. Cooper Bowman in this game 1 for 2 with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Flew out to center the last time he was up. Maciel deals. Fees goes. Pitches up high and inside. Throw to second. Doesn't get there in time. Quality stolen base for Cam Fees. Now 2 men in scoring position here for the Hard Hats. Cooper Bowman now has a 2-0 count.
Yeah, you just knew it was a matter of time there for Cam Fees to get moving, and that's his 2nd stolen base of the season yet to be caught.
Bowman pops up that next pitch. It's to shallow right field. Zale underneath it makes the catch. Pop 4 in the scorebook. 1 down here for the Hard Hats. Really 3 up. 2 men in scoring position, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Here comes Justin Kramer, who reached on an error and then walked. Both times came around to score, so he is responsible for 2 of the 8 runs. Quick math, that's 25%.
We got weather, we got sports, and we got math. You can just do it all, can't you, over there, buddy?
You know, I like to think I'm a jack of all trades. Sadly, a master of none. Justin Kramer looks at ball 1, so he starts off with a 1-0 count. 2 men in scoring position, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch rides up high. 2 balls, no strikes to Kramer.
Kramer already with 5 RBIs on the season here. He's a very solid 9-hole hitter, a very important 9-hole hitter, and that's what you like to see. He's looking to add to that total here in this at-bat.
2-0 is swung on and drilled to center field. McKenzie is underneath it. Tracks back, makes the catch. Everybody tags up. Everybody's going to advance. Fees to third. Throw does not get there. It goes wide of the third baseman. So it's an RBI sac fly for Justin Kramer. As Sam Hague scores, it is now 9-1. The Hardhats have the lead.
And that's what makes him so important there. He now has 6 RBIs on the season, and that's what you like to see. Just put it straight out center field, put it deep enough to get McKenzie unable to make the throw, and it looks like they might have called Cam Fees out there at third because he is no longer on the base pass. So I have no idea what the call was at third base.
Oh, it was an overthrow, and he scored.
It went in the dugout.
Oh, wow. So they're going to award Cam Fees home plate there. So now it's 10-1. The Hardhats have the lead. Walker Paz has the bases empty and 2 outs, and he drills that next pitch right field side, but foul and off the wall. That's 2 pitches we've seen Paz turn on. 1-1 is now his count.
Yeah, and Walker generates the most power when he's pulling those pitches down the left field line, and you can tell right there he's put 2 right to the warning track, but just foul. He's going to find it here once we get to the middle part of the season. He's really going to start finding that hit, and it's going to be dangerous.
Here comes the 1-1 to Paz. 2 outs, bases empty, and he chops it to second. Zale gets the stop throw to first. It is low, but in time, and that will do it. So a 4-3 ends the inning for the Hardhats, but they get 2 runs on no hits, 2 errors defensively for the Billings Royals, and nobody left on the base path. And at the end of 4 full innings, the Hardhats now have a 10-1 lead coming into the top of the 5th. Due up in the top of the 5th for the Billings Royals. Carson Zale, the 9-hole hitter at second base, then right back to the top of the order to Jake Orvis in left and Patrick Zimmer at short. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
They defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center.
Top half of the 5th inning coming up for the Billings Royals, and I'm sure they would like to get a couple of runs in the bottom half of this. Here comes fly out to right. And so the lead.
And now back to the likes to bunt, and so you got
struck out looking the first time he was up. First at bat of the entire game. And then was involved in a 1-3 ground out, trying to bunt again. He was thrown out. Here comes 1-0. Swung on and ripped. That's into right for a base hit. Fees is underneath it. Everybody advances 90 feet. 2 men on, nobody out here for the Billings Royals on back-to-back singles. Here comes Patrick Zimmer.
And now you need a ground ball double play out to try. You don't want to get McKenzie and Bjorgum here at the 3-4 spot to get up here with runners scoring position, bases loaded, that kind of scenario, because they'll be driving in runs and you're trying to end this game early. You got to try to get a double play ball and end this inning as soon as possible.
So here comes Patrick Zimmer, 0 for 2. First pitch is swung on, and it's weakly hit to second. Paz gets the scoop. Throw to first is in time. 4-3 fielder's choice gets Zimmer out at first. He else advanced position. 1 out. Men on second and third. Here comes that bat of Cole McKenzie you were talking about.
Yeah, McKenzie already 2 for 2 with a run scored, and he was stranded on second in his last at bat. He has 2 singles, and if he would hit another one of these singles here, it would score both these runners.
First pitch to McKenzie. Rides up high, ball 1. 1-0 is the count to the gentleman patrolling center field here for the Billings Royals. He's had some action today. 2 plays to my count on defense. One of them was an RBI sac fly. Here comes the 1-0. Rides up high, 2 balls, no strikes.
All right, I can live with 2 plays. I can agree with you on that one.
That RBI sac fly was from Justin Kramer. Colton Trubinsky goes right back to it. On the mound, pitching from his windup. He has men on second and third, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Next pitch misses up high, 3 balls and no strikes quickly to Cole McKenzie. 1 pitch away from loading up the bases for the heavy hitting Cal Bjorgum.
And now with Trubinsky getting up to throw a 74th pitch right now, might see some action here in the bullpen in case this game has to go a couple extra innings.
Next pitch, low and inside, catches the strike zone. 3 balls and a strike now the count from Trubinsky to Cole McKenzie. Trubinsky has only allowed the 1 run in this game. Here's the 3-1. Up high, ball 4. So McKenzie draws a walk. That's the 4th free batter, 3rd walk of the game for Colton Trubinsky. Bases are now loaded with 1 out. Double play ball still in effect. Here comes Cal Bjorgum.
And we're going to get a little conference here from Coach Messer and the entire Hardhat infield. I don't know if they're going to pull Trubinsky quite yet or if they're going to let him go, but he's going to go out and just kind of see how he's doing, gauge where he's at right now, and see if he can't get this huge ground ball to try and get out of this bases loaded jam that he's in.
Well, it looks like Timmy Paris is headed over to the bullpen to go and catch with whoever they're going to start warming up here to potentially replace Trubinsky, whether it's after this at-bat or whether it's for good in the game after this. So we still have yet to see who exactly that lucky gentleman is patrolling to the, strolling over there to the bullpen. Looks like they're going to stick with Trubinsky.
Yeah, he's been so efficient, so effective in this ball game. He has a right to try to get out of this inning and really show what he can do. You don't with a 9-run lead right now. You got a little wiggle room. So if he does allow a hit here and a couple runs come across to score, it's not the end of the world. But you just want to see what he's made of here against Bjorgum, the best hitter for this Billings team.
Cal Bjorgum walked and was hit by a pitch. His first pitch, outside, strike 1. Outside corner, that is. 0-1 the count to Bjorgum was the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top half, of the 5th. On third is Zale. On second is Orvis. On first is McKenzie. A lot of speed. Here's the 0-1. Misses low. Ball and a strike to count.
Tough calls there down in the lower part of the strike zone. It's those borderline pitches are always hard. They always look like at a different angle when you're on the field. So real tough to not get a call with that low pitch.
1-1 is swung on and fouled. Third base side out of play. Bjorgum's now behind a ball and 2 strikes. Trubinsky trying to get a big punch out at the plate. Relieves some of the pressure. With Morgan DeGuy on deck. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Bjorgum with a walk and a hit by pitch. He's been on the base path 2 out of 2 plate appearances. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and it's popped up to shallow center. Underneath it's Bowman and he makes the catch and all the runners stay stationary. Cooper Bowman came all the way from shortstop to shallow center field and he makes the catch. 2 down, a huge second out in the field for the Hardhats. Here comes Morgan DeGuy, still with the bases loaded.
An absolute huge second out. If you can leave these bases juiced, this is going to be a huge win for Trubinsky and this post-22 defense. That was a heck of a play there by Cooper Bowman. We talk about his defense so much. His bat's starting to come around. He's going to be a staple in this lineup for a couple years to come here.
First pitch to DeGuy is fouled behind home plate. No balls and a strike is starting count. And as I mentioned, DeGuy is 0 for 2. Struck out the first time he was up. One of 3 Colton Trubinsky strikeout victims. And he flew out the last time he was up with 2 men on to end the top of the 3rd. He has the bases juiced here. 2 outs top of the 5th. His team is down 10-1. Hardhats trying to keep it that way going into the bottom half of this inning. 0-1 from Trubinsky. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Great off-speed pitch from Sherbinski. He is one pitch away from ending this jam.
Yeah, really nice breaking ball against Dugai, and Dugai was unsure if he's going to swing or not. And when you're unsure if you're going to swing, you always swing late, and that's what happened.
Here's the 0-2. Check swung right back to Sherbinski. He gets the easy underhand toss to first, and it's in time. Colton Sherbinski's been busy defensively as well. That's another put out for him, and that ends the jam for the Hardhats on defense. Not a single run allowed on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on 3 bases. And at the end of 4.5 innings, the Hardhats have preserved their 10-1 lead. 1 run, and this game is over in the bottom of the 5th. Up to the task for the Hardhats, 2, 3, and 4. Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing.
Bottom half of the 5th inning now coming up for the Hardhats. Drake Messenger leads things off, and he looks at a first pitch ball from Cameron Maceo. Still in relief of Tyler Frieders, who started off this game for the Billings Royals. 1-0 is starting count. Maceo working relatively quickly. Here's his 1-0. Swung on and hit foul. First base side and out of play. 1-1 is the count. Messenger is a bunt single. He has a 6-3 RBI ground out and a 2-3 sacrifice bunt. Next pitch is swung on and hit just foul first base side. Ball and 2 strikes the count.
Yeah, Messenger he's been busy out there in left field. He's been doing it at the plate, and he's had himself a very good day and a very good weekend for that matter. He's a very important bat and fielder for this Post 22 team and one of the leaders for these guys, as he's one of the older guys.
1-2 is swung on, and it's chopped to third. Stop is bobbled on the play. We're not going to get a throw. Chris Bouchard bobbled that one at third. They're going to call that an E5. So Messenger once again on the base path for this Hardhats club for the 2nd time today. That's going to bring up Zach Solano with a man on and no one out here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Ooh, that's a tough error to be given. The official score is not feeling very generous today. I thought, I'd give Drake the infield hit, but that's close there.
Check down to first to keep Messenger on the bag is not there in time, so we still have yet to see a pitch to Zach Solano. Zach Solano is 1 for 2, a 2-run RBI double, reached on an error and walked. So he's been on the base path all 3 times, and he came around to score. Now the check down's not there in time, so he still has yet to see a pitch. The Hardhats have scored in every inning in this game. If they get Messenger across, this game's over. First pitch to Solano is high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. That would invoke the 10-run rule after 5 innings in a 7-inning game. Maceo checks the man on first. And from the stretch deals the 0-1. Ball and a strike to count.
I don't know if that might be a score. That might be a scoreboarding error because I think it's 2-0. That ball was high. I didn't see a strike call from the from the blue down here.
Here we go.
There we go. Now we're working with. Now we're cooking with fire in here. So this is about the last gentleman that you want to be in the box when you only need 1 run to score because he can really put one out there, and if he gets one in the gas, Messenger can really move.
Next pitch catches the zone low. There's a strike. 2-1 now the count from Maceo to Solano. On deck is Matt Vickers. That rounds up the 3 gentlemen due up in this inning. Vickers is 2 for 3 with an RBI single and a single along with a strikeout. 2-1, swung on and foul behind home plate. Solano just got underneath it, but if he made solid contact, that ball was probably torched.
Yeah, that ball would have gone a long ways. He's a fastball hitter, got a fastball right over the plate. Just swung underneath it. He was salivating a little too much at that pitch when it came out of Maciel's hand.
Messenger leads off first. Maciel gives him a look. 2-2 to Solano. Off speeds up high, misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes now the count. To one of the most lethal hitters on this Hardhats batting order. Matt Vickers on deck, patiently awaiting his chance to try and end this game 2 innings early. Maciel checked down to first, doesn't get there in time, so Messenger's still safe. Messenger on first, reached on an error by the third baseman, Chris Bouchard. He's made it to the base path twice in 4 appearances. 3 balls, 2 strikes, Messenger goes. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to right. Underneath it is Brooks Zimmer, and he makes the catch. Messenger retreats back to first, still a man on, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. That's going to bring up Matt Vickers.
And the hit and run was on there. Solano trying to do what he can, push that ball into right field. It carried quite a ways there for such a slow swing for Solano, and that's just how much pop he has off his bat. But, you know, you still got Messenger, that winning run on first base. You got to get him around.
First pitch to Vickers, rides inside. That's ball 1. 1-0 is his count. Vickers again 2 for 3 with 2 singles. One of those an RBI single. Also struck out looking. That was back in the bottom half of the 2nd. That was part of the big inning that the Hardhats had. 6 runs were scored on 4 hits. 1 error was charged defensively to the Royals. Messenger still on first. Here's the 1-0 to Vickers. Check swung, and they're saying that he went. Ball and a strike. Oh, he foul tipped, excuse me. Hard to hear contact from the bat up here.
Especially on those kind of half swings that barely get a piece of it. It's tough.
Here's the 1-1. Catches the outside corner, strike 2, and Messenger's going to take second. Very interesting maneuver by Messenger to get that stolen base there.
Didn't even get a throwdown. I think even Billings was surprised that he stole it. They weren't ready for it at all. So, but now he's in scoring position, and a base hit with his kind of speed will score him from second, and that would be a game, set, match here for the first game.
1-2 is swung on, and it is drilled into right field. That's a base hit. Messenger gets the go signal. Zimmer gets the throw into the relay. Bjorkum to home. Throw is not in time. And that is pretty much going to do it. After 5 innings of play, the Hardhats are going to take game 1 in this doubleheader. 11-1. Unless they choose to keep playing, but that is not going to happen.
Exacted revenge there on the Royals here, and that's exactly what you needed. They 10-run you in Billings. Now you come get that first. They get that first game, and a big first game. So you go into game 2 with a lot of confidence out here, and you know these guys are on cloud 9 right now. They had to get this off their back, get the monkey off their back per se, and get that 10-run rule. Huge RBI there for Vickers, and you know he had a heck of a day, going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He's definitely one of the leaders on this team, and you know that walk-off single to bring Messenger in, and you gotta give credit to Messenger. He was flying around those bases. He was running hard, and that slide is what got him, because he was dead to rights. Bjorkum fired it into line 1, and he was dead to right down there, but he slid right underneath the tag, and you know that's part of the game. Those little fundamentals there will win you everything.
Another really easy stat line to recap that bottom half of the 5th. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left on the base path. Matt Vickers gets it taken care of with that walk-off RBI single. The Hardhats exact revenge for that 10-run loss in Billings in 5 innings by the exact same score. You talk about coincidence. I find it absolutely hilarious. Statistically, across the board, Billings 1 run on 5 hits, 5 errors in the field. The Hardhats 11 runs on 8 hits and only 1 blemish defensively. Teddy and I will take a quick recess. We'll be right back with some tabulated statistics and some thoughts. We'll sign off for just a brief moment, set the table for Game 2 in this doubleheader between the Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. The Hardhats have now taken 2 out of 3 games played this weekend. They cap it off so far with an 11-1 win over the Royals. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in
Knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City.
On with us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. 5 innings was all it took for the Hardhats. They have exacted revenge of their previous 10-run loss in 5 innings in Billings against Billings. Coincidentally enough, by the exact same score, 11-1, the Hardhats get the win. That's 2 games in a row where the Hardhats have really destroyed this Billings club. You look to the second game of the doubleheader last night to tonight. The Hardhats have outscored the Billings Royals 23-4. Unbelievable to see what they've done in just 2 games, separated by a day. Thanks so much for sticking with us here for the first of 2 games today on day 2 of our doubleheader coverage between the Billings Royals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Mark Benetti, voice of the Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth, joined as always by my partner in crime with the microphone, former American Legion third baseman, formerly of Post 32 out in Belfouche, Teddy Leipold. Teddy, you look top to bottom in this game. Once again, pitching paced the win, really. Colton Sherbinsky with a complete game, 82 pitches in 5 innings. He averaged 16.4 pitches an inning, which hovers around that nice sweet spot you talk about wanting to average 15 pitches. He really paced his Hardhats, maybe not with the bat, but definitely with his arm.
Absolutely. You can't ask for a better start out of Colton Sherbinsky, and I think he really needed it as well. He needed that confidence boost. Like we talked about last season, he was in the bullpen and in relief. He's now in the starting role and into the lineup, and you know he's still a young pitcher that's coming into his own, and you got to really like what you saw from him in that first game, because he set the tone and the tempo early, and he never looked back. Once he had his foot on the gas pedal, he was just going hard all game long, and he is one of the main reasons that the Hardhats got such a big win here in game 1.
Game went 5 1/3 innings, and the Hardhats take an 11-1 win. And Teddy, you look at, once again, this is a 5th game in a row where the Hardhats have allowed a run in the first inning. They immediately fire right back at a run of their own on an RBI single from Matt Vickers, and then you talk all the time about how the Hardhats need a big inning. They got it in the bottom of the second. 6 runs scored, never look back.
Yeah, once you push those 6 runs across, it was hard to stop this machine once it starts rolling, and that's about the best way to explain it. This is a monster snowball that rolls downhill and just gains and gains and gains on the way down. And once you get 2, 3 runs up in an inning, you can really see it in this lineup. And these guys' bats, that they just really start to go, and they don't look back. They don't let off the gas pedal. They're going until the very end. And that big inning came early, which allowed this game and the momentum to stay with the Hardhats. Pretty much since the first pitch, this game has just been in control of the Hardhats.
Yeah, 6 runs in that bottom half of the second. The Hardhats ended up scoring a run in every single inning. Across the scoreboard, the Royals went 1 and then 4 straight zeros to get 1 run on 5 hits with 5 errors in the field. The Hardhats went 1-6, 1-2-1, got 11 runs on 8 hits and only 1 blemish defensively. I think it's safe to say here, Teddy, we look statistically at the hitting performance. We look statistically at what Colton Sherbinsky did. Those are all great, but personally, the key to the game came back to what Coach Messer said at the start of our pregame conversation: preparation. Getting that World Series mindset in your head from start to finish. This game was won by the Hardhats.
Yeah, and you could tell it coming out. That's what allowed them to control it from the first pitch until the last pitch, because their preparation was on point. And when we talked to Coach Messer in our pregame interview, he is the one that told us that he thinks their preparation was a lot better today, and it showed. You could definitely tell they came out a lot more focused, a lot more fire, and they just never looked back. It was a very fundamentally sound game. Good hitting performance, good pitching performance. This is one of those games that you look back on and you can reference to say when they're down, or they have a game like Game 1 of yesterday or Game 1 in Billings where it's a tough loss and it's a kind of a sloppy game. This is one you can look back and say, hey, I know what you guys are capable of. I know what you can do. This was a very, very good baseball game for the Post-22 Hardhats.
All right, Teddy, moment of the day. You've got an MVP figured out. Who is it?
You got to go with Colton Sherbinsky. I went with the hitter last night with Timmy Paris, so I got to give it to the pitching staff in this first game. He went 5 innings pitched, allowed 5 hits, only 1 earned run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. And that stat line's not going to jump out to you. But the 82 pitches, the efficiency, the outs, the not allowing these runners anything free, making it hard on them. Everything goes into just the efficiency is the main key I'm trying to get at. Is Colton Sherbinsky just had one heck of a day on the mound. Even though the stat line's not going to pop off on the page, that was one of the most efficient pitching performances that we've seen to date this season.
Stat of the day is going to be a comparison on the leadoff hitters in the innings for both of these teams. It's been an Achilles heel of this Hardhats club. The last few games, they've allowed way too many free passes on the lead runners. Or the lead batters in the innings, excuse me. So for the opposition, the Billings Royals went 1 for 5, struck out twice, didn't score a single run as a leadoff batter to start off an inning. The Hardhats, on the other hand, went 2 for 3 with 2 walks, scored 4 of the 11 runs on the scoreboard. The leadoff runner really sets the tone for what your team is capable of offensively. No mistake here. The Hardhats won the battle when it came to the leadoff hitter in the innings.
Yeah, and those leadoff hitters, as soon as they're on base, you have so many more options. You have no outs. You can play small ball, push them across. If you're getting to the bread and butter, your lineup, you can let them swing away and try to get them around the base path. That way you can put them in motion with a hit and run or the stolen bases to get them into scoring position. The opportunities are endless when your leadoff batter gets on base. That's why Walker Paw is such an effective leadoff hitter, because he gets on base. He may not be the most flashy and send the ball deep off the wall that everyone likes to see, but he'll get you that single in the hole. He'll find those alleys. He'll give you that double every once in a while. He'll steal those bases, and to be able to do that, not with just Walker, but with the rest of the 8 guys in the lineup here, no matter who's coming up first. You got Cooper Bowman, who led off an inning getting on base. You have Kramer, who led off an inning getting on base. Sam Haig led off an inning getting on base. Just all these guys coming out and just being able to get them across. And you look at that last inning, Drake Messenger got on base and stole second, got him in motion. That's to win it. You just needed to push that 1 run across, and then Vickers hit him in. So that shows the importance of getting that leadoff runner on base and getting them around these base paths, because those runs will add up quick.
Final, once again, stat line across the board. The Billings Royals 1 run on 5 hits with 5 errors defensively in the field. The Hardhats countered with 11 runs on 8 hits and only 1 blemish defensively. And that error came back in the first inning when Colton Trubinsky tried to check down Cole McKenzie and he overthrew Matt Vickers on first. That was the only blemish this Hardhats team had defensively. You look back to the first game they played against this Royals club. They lost 10-7 on 5 errors. And now that gets flipped. Folks, thanks so much for sticking with us for our first of 2 games. We're going to take a brief recess. We'll be right back with Game 2, which would roughly start, I believe, within the next 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll try and keep everything on top of things up here in the broadcast booth. We'll get starting lineups for you, and we'll be back on the air before you know it here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and live on the internet at post22live.com. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. We'll see you in just a few moments.